For almost 1,000 years, there has been a place in Rome that most people on earth will never see. Not tourists. Not journalists. Not even most Catholic priests. It lies beneath the Vatican, behind reinforced doors and guarded corridors. Inside are 85 kilometers of shelves. Millions of documents. Some older than entire countries. And according to the Vatican itself, some of those documents cannot be released until everyone alive today is already dead. Think about that for a moment. What kind of history is so powerful, that it has to outlive every living witness before it can be revealed? And who are they revealing it to if everyone is dead? Welcome to the Vatican Apostolic Archive. Or as it was known for centuries. The Vatican Secret Archive. The name, Secret Archive, was used for centuries. Then in 2019, the Vatican quietly changed it to Vatican Apostolic Archive. No press conference. No detailed explanation. Just one word removed. Secret. Officially, they said the word secret had been misunderstood. But critics noticed something interesting. Changing the name didn't change the rules. Researchers cannot freely explore the archive. Every scholar must apply for access. Every document must be pre-approved. And even approved historians are escorted at all times. Entire sections remain completely sealed. Some files are locked for decades. Others for centuries. And some carry a far stranger instruction. Never to be released at all. Which raises the obvious question. What secrets could possibly be important enough to hide for 1,000 years? The archive was formally established in 1612 by Pope Paul V. But the documents inside go much further back. Some date to the 8th century. Inside are letters from kings. Orders signed by popes. Records of inquisitions. Private correspondences between the Vatican and emperors, sultans, and warlords. This isn't just a library. It is the political memory of Europe. And for centuries, absolutely no outsider was allowed inside. That finally changed in 1881, when Pope Leo XIII allowed historians limited access. But when scholars finally entered the archive, they discovered something strange. There were gaps. Entire centuries where documents should exist, but don't. Records referencing files that are now missing. And shelves that even approved historians were forbidden from touching. Naturally, historians began asking one question. What exactly was being hidden? In 2001, a Vatican archivist named Barbara Frail made a discovery that shocked historians. She was sorting through a neglected box of medieval parchments when she found something extraordinary. A document over 7 feet long. Dated 1308. It would later become known as the Chinon parchment. The document recorded a secret papal investigation into one of the most famous and mysterious groups in history. The Knights Templar. According to the official story, the Templars were arrested in 1307 for heresy and blasphemy. Many were tortured. Some were executed. The order was destroyed. But the Chinon parchment revealed something no one expected. The Pope had secretly cleared the Templars of heresy. Pope Clement V had privately forgiven them. He even considered restoring the order. And yet publicly. None of that happened. Instead, the Templars were destroyed. Their Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive in 1314. For 700 years, the world believed the Templars were guilty. All while the document proving their innocence sat quietly in the Vatican archive. Misfiled. At least, that's the official explanation. But the discovery raised a disturbing possibility. The Vatican didn't just lose the truth. It kept it hidden. But the Chinon parchment is only one document. The Vatican archive contains millions. And among them is a section that even approved scholars cannot access. It's called the reserved fonds. Documents stored here require direct papal permission to view. Very few people have ever seen inside. But historians believe the collection contains records that challenge the official narrative of church history. Documents from early inquisitions that targeted forgotten religious groups. Letters between popes and Islamic rulers suggesting unexpected political cooperation. And files belonging to something called Archivum Secretum Particulare Sanctitatis Sui. The private secret archive of the Pope himself. A collection so restricted that even Vatican archivists cannot fully access it. And that's when the mystery begins to change. Because this archive may not simply contain embarrassing history. It may contain contested history. History that could change how we understand the past. One strange example involves a document known as the Letter of Prester John. In 1165, a mysterious letter began circulating in Europe. It claimed to be written by a powerful Christian king ruling a vast empire somewhere in the east. A kingdom filled with gold. A kingdom said to possess the Holy Grail. The letter sparked centuries of exploration and crusades. But historians have long suspected it was a hoax. Yet a copy of the letter exists inside the Vatican archive, complete with papal notes written in the margins. Those notes suggest something unsettling. Someone in the Vatican may have known the letter was fake. And allowed Europe to believe it anyway. Why? Because myths can move armies. Another mysterious category in the archive involves something called theologians occulta. Hidden theology. Internal church writings discussing early Christian texts that never made it into the Bible. Gospels that were excluded. Letters from early apostles. Accounts of Jesus that differ from the official narrative. The Church says these texts were rejected because they were false. But historians point out something curious. They were never destroyed. They were preserved. Catalogued. Protected. Stored inside the archive. Which raises a simple but uncomfortable question. If these writings were truly meaningless, why keep them at all? In 2020, the Vatican opened one of its most controversial archives. The files of Pope Pius XII, the Pope during World War II. For decades, critics accused him of staying silent while millions of Jews were murdered. When historians examined the documents, the truth turned out to be complicated. The Vatican had received detailed reports about the Holocaust as early as 1942. The Pope knew. But inside the same archive were documents describing something else. A secret effort called Operazione Intermedia. A covert operation where the Vatican helped provide money and false papers to Jewish families fleeing Nazi territory. Two truths. Existing side by side. Silence in public. Secret rescue behind the scenes. And this is what makes the Vatican archive so fascinating. It doesn't just contain dark secrets. It contains everything. Betrayals. Heroism. Corruption. Sacrifice. History in its rawest form. And raw history rarely fits into simple narratives. No institution comes out looking completely innocent. That may be the real reason the archive stays closed. Because once the full story is known, no one controls the narrative anymore. Right now, beneath the Vatican, there are 85 kilometers of shelves filled with documents the public has never seen. Letters written by kings. Decisions that shaped empires. Secrets buried for centuries. Some have slowly surfaced. But many more remain sealed. Some permanently. Which means somewhere in those corridors, right now, there are answers to questions we haven't even thought to ask yet. And the Vatican already knows them. The real question is this. If the archive opened completely tomorrow, do you think the world is ready to know what's inside? Tell me what you think we would find. Because the truth might be stranger than anything we imagine.